Hello there. Hello, 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 my lovely, beautiful friends, wherever you may be. Hello, how the hell are ya? Wagwan, what's happening? Holler at me, innit? What's good? What's good? What's good? What's good? What's good? Random Show episode number 178. Thank you for tuning in. I appreciate you so much. Thank you for tuning into this random show where I just ramble and ramble about things that don't really matter and try to make sense of a world that I don't understand. So thank you for joining me on another epic, amazing, live, spangtabulous, and almost sensational show. Thank you for joining me. It's always my pleasure to serve you in any way which I can. If I have to offer you my asshole, I will. My mouth, I will. My hands, I will. My feet, I will. Okay? Yes, homo, for all the above. I am of service to you, and I aim to please. But big up everybody, I appreciate you all. Thank you for tuning into the Random Show. It's I, your host, Agostino Zinga. Hope you are good wherever you may be. I just got back from a very good workout. I'm super late. I went about like 9 p.m. or something, right? I had on some flipping, what was I playing on the fucking Toronto? I was in the gym. Oh, I had it on shuffle actually. I had it on shuffle. What was the last song that I played before I got here? Oh, you know what the last song I played here? The last song I think I played was Take K. I'm pretty sure it was Take K. And it wasn't the track that you think. It wasn't the race. Because I just remembered how good Take K is. The last tune that I played from Take K was I Love My Chopper. Do you guys remember that? Do you guys remember that Take K tune, I Love My Chopper? Hopefully you remember that, right? Take K, I Love My Chopper. Like, god damn, bro. Like, that song is an absolute winner. It came on and I was like, man, the unfulfilled potential of Take K doesn't get spoken about enough because obviously he's in prison for a very long time. I think he got like 50 years or something stupid like that. So he's not coming out anytime soon. But that kid, man, that tape is a banger from the start to the end. I think it's like 10 tracks also, which is my perfect length of an album anyway. I think about 10 to 12 tracks. And it is an absolute slapper. But unfortunately, man got 53 years, like absolute crazy sentence. I think when he got sentenced, wasn't he like a teenager too? I'm pretty sure he was a teenager. So he was under the age of 18 and he got a 50-year sentence. Like, sentencing in America makes no sense to me, to be honest. Because I've just found out today, I don't know if you guys know this, I just found out that Tory Lanez isn't actually in prison for shooting Megan Thee Stallion. Do you know that? He actually got convicted for being a felon in possession of a gun, and obviously because the gun went off. So that's why he's in prison. It's not because they could prove that he shot Megan. It's just that the gun was there in his possession, quote unquote, and that it went off within his vicinity. That's pretty crazy, isn't it? So he got 10 years for discharging a gun, not shooting somebody. Imagine what he would have got if they convicted him for shooting her. Imagine what he would have got if they did convict him for shooting her. So he actually got a good deal, didn't he? Even though I don't think he did it. Like, I'm a strong believer, and I think the real culprit of this crime is Kelsey. I think the Megan Thee Stallion's friend is definitely the one that did it. Why it hasn't come out, I don't know. It's just whatever. But that's my kind of gut feeling. But still, if I was him and I got 10 years just for discharging my gun and I wasn't found guilty for shooting her, as much as I know I'm innocent, I would just take the time and just keep quiet and try and come out on good behavior. I'm not going to lie. If I was Tory, I would just keep quiet, stop the appeals, and just eat the time and try and come out in good behavior. And then when you come out in good behavior, then you could do your press run about, I'm not guilty, innocent man. But you're putting too much attention on it. You're going to bring too much attention. I mean, the appeal might backfire, because I don't know if that happens in the States. Does it happen in the States where, like, if you appeal and it's frivolous, can they, like, give you extra time for wasting their time? Like, you keep appealing stuff and then like, you know what? You're wasting the court's time. Here's another fucking 5. Here's another 5. Here's another 5. Do you know? Oh, mate. Oh, yeah, true. Bodybuilding news. He's Canadian too, isn't it? But I think he's trying to not do that, if I'm not mistaken. I think before he went into prison, didn't Tory Lanez marry his wife or his girlfriend? Right? He hooked. I'm sure they saw that. I'm sure they did. But anyway, so I was listening to TK's, tape, and obviously the track that I was actually bumping while I was in the gym, whilst I was doing some deadlifts and pushing the weight over my head and doing some heavy back squats, I heard fucking I Love My Chopper. I was cruising down the street 4 deep. 3 bitches, 1 yopper on me. And the yopper might as well be a fiend, cause it got 2 arms and some feet. Cause it wakes up in the morning and it eat. I love my chopper and I think it love me. Probably because I let the bitch do what it please. Called it hitter cause he gonna shoot for free. Let me hush, that's between him and me. R.I.P. Easy E. Niggas acting like bitches, man. These niggas ain't acting like bees. Chop extension, gang. Pussy boy, get on the knees. Money counter. Count it up, F beep. Do you hear that? Money counter, count it up, F beep. Are you? Come on, bro. Free TK. I don't tote no choppers, bitch. Chopper tote me. I might just pop here. What you talking on me? Yuppa had me blood walking on the scene. Yuppa had me blood popping up my jeans. Come on. Anyway. Before I start pretending I'm a fucking gangster, before I lean into my heritage, right? My black heritage, my wannabe African American heritage, my what's up, man, right? Hey, y'all. Welcome back to the Random Show. Hey, y'all. What's good, y'all? Before I start cosplaying as an African American man, let me just remember who I actually am, right? Just a random black cunt from the UK. Let's just relax. Anyway, thank you for joining me, people. What's good, Oche, my G? What's good, Koila? What's good, Brandon? I see you, everybody. Hello. What's happening? What's crack-a-lacking? Let's start the show off well. And let's get popping. And let's get crack-a-lacking. Let's not waste any more time. I'm out here flipping rapping as if I'm some sort of gangster or something. Let's fuck this shit. Let's go. Let's start the show off properly. Let's go.
You can take oregano oil. You can dilute 10 drops of oregano oil and drink that over the course of the morning and do that 10 days in a row, and your COVID symptoms will be gone. Now, if you're
I think that's total fucking bullshit.
I honestly don't care what you think. I don't think you've done your research.
Do you understand how Dunning-Kruger works?
I don't understand how anything you refer to even makes any sense, brother. What is that?
Dunning-Kruger.
Dunning-Kruger, what is that?
So like the stupidest people in the room think they're the smartest.
Is your name Dunning-Kruger? Like, what are you going to come out with next? Occam's razor? The simplest explanation is that I'm an idiot?
Bro, do you guys remember COVID? Do you guys remember seeing videos of like random black men across the United States over like open pots of like carrots and like ginger and garlic cloves and shit? Do you remember that? I remember seeing random posts of like these usually dreadhead Rastafarian types in fucking America, black dudes just on pots stirring some concoction saying that this is going to cure COVID. Do you remember that? People's natural remedies. People were going on hikes. They were going on hikes. They were trying to get high altitude as if that was going to clear their fucking lungs and shit. You remember? People would go to do park runs and walks in the park with their dogs and shit, thinking that was going to cure shit. Yo, bleak times, man. Fucking bleak times. Honestly, legitimately one of the bleakest times in the world. But imagine thinking oregano is going to cure you. Imagine. But I wonder, what's worse? Being anti-vax, like these crazy anti-vax guys, because being anti-vax in just in terms of a health perspective and just being skeptical about vaccines in general is one thing. But being crazy anti-vax, that's a whole nother thing. What's more redacted? Being anti-vax or believing in astrology? What's more redacted? Being anti-vax or believing in astrology? Because I think they're on the same level. I'm not gonna lie. People who think if they're born in this, oh, this because my moon does this and makes me feel this way. It's like, what? Oh yeah, we're the same actually because you're a this. It's like, because you're a Cancer, you're a this. Like, shut up, man. This fucking grown up fucking fairy tales. They're usually hand in hand, yeah. So if you're anti-vax, you're probably somebody that believes in astrology, yeah? All right, cool. What are you saying, Sarlux? What's good, my guy, Sarlux? What's good, Stinger Goo? I see ya. Hello, Josie. What's going on, darling? What's going on, baby? What's going on, Robert Minnis? What's good? Bodybuilding news. What's happening? Assad, bang your fucking doors. What's good? What's good? What's good? Teju, what's good? We're in a fucking building. Like you tell, I'm crunked. I've got some tea in me. Maybe some other stuff, right? Ready to go. Fuck. Oh, also, I put the light on max as well, by the way. So if you're wondering why I look really good in this camera, if you're like, damn, it's because the light is a bit more brighter. Because for some reason it was darker like that. But look at this, if I go full beam. Full fucking beam, man. You feel me? We're out here. Anyways, let's go. Let's fucking go. Next one. This might be one of the I hope this is not what's that thing called? Hope this is not like staged. Hope this is real. I hope it's real, but most likely it's fake. But let's see. I'm hoping it's real, but most likely it's fake.
Yo, you just hit my car? You just hit my car?
No, I tapped it. Just to say, don't stop right there. You start right in the sidewalk. This is the tap.
Bro, don't do that to my car, bro. What's wrong with you, bro?
It's a way of talking to you. Don't stop in the middle of the sidewalk. Hi.
Yo, this ain't real, is it?
What's that?
Is this real?
You have a gun? Are you gonna take out a gun and shoot me now?
Is this really happening?
Yeah, I'm talking to you like an adult. One adult talk. Oh, that's new to you. Okay. To agree.
All right,
bro. That was brilliant, isn't it? Look at that de-escalation. I love it. No fights were had. No fight was had. No punches were thrown. No gun was pulled out. No knife. And he fucking he literally schooled him there. I'm tapping you so that you're in the middle of the road, because there's nothing worse than that. For somebody like myself that runs, right? Somebody like myself that runs, there's nothing more annoying when you're running and you're crossing a fucking, a junction, and there's a car right in the middle of the fucking, of the zebra crossing, as they call it here in the UK. And it's like, fucking hell, dude. Now you have to do the whole going around the car thing. Some people like to kick the car and boot it, but, that's risky because you never know who's going to come out of the car. But it's just annoying. There's no need to do that. And people just do it because they can get away with it, and because they feel like, if you're in a car, you're sort of like invincible. So it's nice from time to time that you get scolded like this, because I feel like sometimes these type of scolds, they leave a lasting impression on you. And most likely this guy won't do this again. That's an effective way of like talking to somebody like an adult and saying, hey, by the way, that wasn't cool. He actually won't do this again. But if you would have approached it with effing and blinding, if you would have called him a fucking nignog or something, that wouldn't have ended well. But when you just approach somebody like an adult and you say, hey, that's not cool, 9 times out of 10, usually they will listen. Even if they don't act like they do in the time, they will listen, right? And most likely it will lead to changed behavior. It's absolutely quite cool. I like that. I'm not going to lie. I fucking like that. But like I said, being a runner and cycling, because I don't drive, I cycle. I've got a little fixie bike that I ride. There's nothing more annoying than having cars like parked up on the fucking cycling lane. It's one thing if there's traffic and it's there. It is what it is. You have to go around them. But when a car is parked on the cycling lane, it's nothing more annoying. Especially, and when you're running, trying to go around the car that's across a zebra crossing, a passenger's way is just, and they always give you like a look as if like you're inconveniencing them. It's like, no, you're the one that's in the wrong. I should have a clear way to kind of walk or to run across here, but your car is blocking it, like, and then you're putting me in danger because then I have to go around you and go into fucking traffic. You know what I mean? It's fucking annoying. So it is what it is. But big up that dude. Absolutely amazing. Well done. I love that there was no violence. No unnecessary mean words were said to each other, and both parties got their messages across. The guy was annoyed for touching his car. Hey, don't touch my car. And the guy said, hey, please don't park, have your car whilst you're waiting at the lights across the fucking, crossing and shit. Both guys got their points across. Lessons were learned. Lessons were learned. Moving on from that one, we've got this post courtesy of what's his called. Let's play space on. Let's play this one quickly popped up at on the Fire and the Kids subreddit. So big up the guys over there for uploading this interesting post, featuring my new favorite, Hassan Abi. Now, I'm not the biggest fan of his politics, but considering that I do a solo show where I ramble about stuff I read online, I thought it was beneficial for me to go online and check out some people who are doing it well. And he's doing it really well. So I kind of like his style and how he does it. Now, his opinions, he's himself, you know, a little bit insufferable, but I feel like he does what he does really well. I'm not going to lie. So let me actually play this so you can see him in the corner. And let's play what he says here, because I think it's really interesting. It's a really interesting point he makes here. Let's play this clip.
Ironically has the capacity to basically make comedians. He can.
He's talking about Joe Rogan, by the way.
Okay? If Brendan Schaub could, like, at least have a podcast where people pay him money to listen to him, then Joe Rogan can make anyone, okay? Because that motherfucker is literally, like, it is unironically more entertaining to watch paint chip away on a wall. Mr. Dicey has, like, multiple comedy specials and literally has a podcast with an audience on it, okay? That means Joe Rogan has an insane level of power in this scene, and everybody knows it, everybody recognizes it. That's why, like, they don't want to offend him, even if they don't agree with him. Unironically has...
And this is the thing that I realize that's really true and right about this, right, is this, I think that's one of the bad things about Rogan giving Brendan a platform, is that it's kind of sullied his reputation. You know, people are not going to look at him the same way again, partly because of the Brendan Shaw platforming. Because I think everybody else within Joe Rogan's, you know, within the JRE universe and the extended universe, you could say, even if you're not a fan of them, you can understand why people are fans of them. You kind of get it, right? It's sort of like, they all have their sort of little niche. They kind of have their fan base they've cultivated over the years. They have their appeal. You understand where it comes from. But I think with Brendan, he might be the only one within that JRE, you know, close circle of friends and, you know, whatever, who people just can't get their head around. They can't work it out. Like, it doesn't make any sense. Because for as much as Brendan talks about other people like Dana White and saying, oh, if you didn't know the Fertitta brothers, you would be a kickboxing coach, blah, blah, blah. We can say with some level of certainty, if Brendan never knew Rogan, would he be as big as he is now? I highly doubt it, really and truly, especially when you consider when he did the UFC, right? Not a lot of stars from that era have kind of transitioned into doing like media things anyway. It was a really long time ago also, right? It wasn't nowadays. I think nowadays it's probably a lot easier to transition, to make that transition from being a UFC person to doing content. People, you know, there's a lot more eyes on the UFC. You can get more attention for yourself fighting in the UFC. And also you can kind of leverage that to go on other platforms. So I don't think there's any doubt in my mind that if Brendan never knew Rogan, he's not the same guy. So I think partly there are times where I do this stream and I'm like, you know what? You can't really blame Rogan for Brendan. I think anybody who's a friend of somebody's, you're going to do whatever you can to help them out. And if Rogan has a platform and Brendan at that time was a close friend and he went to help him out, that's not a bad thing. I don't think you can blame him for that. You have to blame mostly Brendan for like fucking it up and kind of wasting the opportunity. But then you think about it and you think, not really though. Especially when you think of yourself, you remember back in the day when Brendan used to go on the stage at the Comedy Store, right? And then you think of, because I literally was watching a clip the other day of You'd Be Surprised. And I was like, there was a time when Rogan and Callen and stuff would have Brendan up at the Comedy Store and Laugh Factory and stuff, right? With them performing. And he was performing that same material probably that you see in You'd Be Surprised. You'd Be Surprised, right? He was performing that same material at the Comedy Store. So it's not as if they are surprised by how shit he is at comedy. It was a known thing. So they gave this guy an advantage. They gave this guy an opportunity that he didn't deserve because he was their friend. And then it turned him into this monster, you know? And the bad thing about him, I think, more so, it's not bad. It's not a crime to be shit at what you do. I think the real crime is not taking that opportunity to get better, you know, because it's almost baffling how You'd Be Surprised is not that much worse than Gringo Pappy. I've always said, and I'll stand on that hill, that You'd Be Surprised is better than Gringo Pappy, but it's quite shocking how close they are in quality. So it leads you to believe that most likely Brendan did nothing in the years between. He probably took his foot off the pedal. He probably kept doing the same material, and he didn't really grow or develop or learn. And then by the time Gringo Pappy comes out, he's fallen out of favor with Rogan. He's kind of like in his own little place, and then suddenly, look what happened. It's kind of wild, but that's why I've also said as well, I also get why behind the scenes, most likely, Brendan probably gets a lot of hate in green rooms too, in comedy clubs. There's no way if you're an up-and-coming comedian that, hey, big up Murray, appreciate you for the super chat, bro.
I blame the sponsors. Where is the value?
Nah, I don't blame the sponsors. No. That's also an incorrect person to blame. Don't blame the sponsors. That system is the system, right? I think, look, the sponsors it's in my opinion, if you ask me, it's all a scam. They're all involved in. The sponsors are running a scam, the podcasters are running a scam, and the brands that are, sponsoring the fucking podcast are running a scam. Or the ad agencies, they're all running a scam. It's all a racket. They all know there's no value really for the most part in advertising stuff on podcasts, especially with stuff that doesn't have listeners. So it's all a madness. Let them take advantage of it what they want. It is what it is. I think the main issue for me has always been, if you look at it, is mostly laid on the feet of the Brendan and the Rogans. Mostly, I think. It's on the Rogans for gaslighting the audience. Because you remember there was a time when Rogan would gaslight the audience and say, oh, people don't like Brendan because he looks like an Adonis. Because he looks like a guy that could have bullied you in high school. Because it's like, no, people just don't like him because he comes across like a terrible person online. And some people believe that he has a career that's undeserved. Do you know, it's not that deep, but they'll gaslight you and make you believe that you were jealous and you wanted his money and his cars. Like, no, some of us don't care about the cars. Some of us don't care about living in LA. Some of us don't care about being comedians. We just say, hey, this guy's full of shit, and we pointed it out, and that was it. But they didn't want to believe. And then now, look what's happened. Rogan moves to fucking Austin, and suddenly, Brendan's not invited. You know, I heard a rumor. No, not heard a rumor. Joey Diaz said that Rogan offered to buy him a house in Austin so he could move there. I didn't hear Rogan offer Brendan a house. You know, like, so suddenly everybody realized everything the fans were saying. It's kind of annoying, really, to be honest. But, you know, again, my Christian side of me thinks to myself, like, if I'm Brendan, there's no way that I could not heed the warnings. There's so many signs that things are not going well. And just kind of fix up. It's not that hard, really, you know? Just sort it out. It's not that difficult. But hey, the guy's 40 plus years old. Not going to happen anytime soon. Moving on. This story is fucking wild. Please can we watch this story? I'm sure most of you guys are aware of it, but this story is absolutely insane.
Right now, on to the point. Chance Comanche, a former Stockton Kings basketball player, now facing murder and kidnapping charges. The disturbing details just revealed in arresting documents. Councilmember Sean...
A basketball player? Can you imagine? Like, what? The deals are fucking so scary, man. Honestly, what these guys get up to, I don't know what the fuck is going on here. Let's fast forward so you can see where the actual story starts here. Big up fucking ABC News or whatever the station is. We don't care about the weather. We don't care about the weather. We don't care about the weather. There we go. Here we go.
Of course, we will check back in with Carly a little bit later in the show. Former Stockton Kings basketball player Chance Comanche appeared in court for the first...
Braids looking good, though. The braids looking tight. Not gonna lie. The braids looking fucking tight.
Former Stockton...
Yeah. Big up the braids.
Kings basketball player Chance Comanche appeared in court for the first time today. He is now facing kidnapping and murder charges. The details ABC 10 just obtained in arresting documents are disturbing. Our Alicia Machado reports from outside the Sacramento County Jail tonight.
That court appearance lasting just a few minutes, enough time for the judge to say that Comanche would be transferred to Nevada. Now there he is expected to face open murder charges. But get this, an arrest report revealing that Comanche and his ex-girlfriend actually tried to hire someone for the murder.
How do you go about trying to hire somebody for the murder? Do you have to speak in code? Like on like Craigslist? Bin man wanted.
is until no one would help and they decided to plan it themselves. Much more revealed in that arrest report, but we do want to warn you, some of what you're about to hear is graphic. Chance Comanche appearing in court for the first time since his arrest in connection to the kidnapping and murder of Morena Rogers in Las Vegas. The 27-year-old basketball player was recently released from the Stockton Kings after the FBI took him into custody Friday in Sacramento. At his arraignment in the capital city Tuesday afternoon, the judge asking Comanche if he is prepared to...
That's definitely a basketballer, isn't it? Look, he's nearly at the top. His head is nearly touching the top of the bars of that little cage he's in. His head is nearly touching the top. God damn.
To waive extradition, meaning Comanche is agreeing to be transferred to Nevada.
Nevada will have 30 days from...
I won't get to the details of the case.
Rogers.
Let's see here.
19-year-old...
Got it. And we're going to deal with it, of course. Thank you.
Comanche and his ex-girlfriend, 19-year-old Zachary Harnden, are accused of kidnapping...
Yo, big up Stinger. Good. Appreciate you, brother.
You that black guy that streams too much?
You know the vibes. You know how it is. 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 You know what we're doing out here. Immigrant mentality. Refugee mentality. You know, fresh off the boat mentality. Whips on my back mentality. Cotton picking mentality. Are you okay, sir mentality. Please, massa, can I have some water mentality. Please, massa, know my daughter mentality. Fist in the air mentality. Wakanda forever mentality. You know what, Guan. You know what we're doing.
Kidnapping and murdering Rogers. An arrest report revealing an elaborate plan to kill her. In a group chat detailed in the report, Comanche texting, "I can snap her neck or just strangle the curse word."
Jesus.
The report indicates Harnden and Rogers had past issues with each other. Harnden allegedly upset Rogers had told people she provided information to the police, resulting in the arrest of her boyfriend in a San Joaquin County murder case. Comanche also noting an issue the two had over a Rolex watch. According to the report, Harnden and Rogers were sex workers and met up for a planned prostitution double date on December 5th. Comanche posing as someone paying for sex acts to get Rogers to meet with him. During the meetup, the report indicates Comanche used an HDMI cord to strangle Rogers, and Harnden also choked Rogers.
A HDMI cord. R.I.P. to that girl, man. R.I.P. to that girl. Imagine the family finding out that detail.
Comanche said he strangled her for about 10 seconds until she struggled to breathe, but Harnden continued until she was unresponsive. Comanche and Harnden later leaving her body in a ditch in the Nevada desert and covering it with rocks. About a week after the murder, Comanche was arrested at practice in Sacramento. Again, Comanche is awaiting extradition.
I just find it surprising how these guys think they can get away with stuff like this. Like, especially when you consider, again, you know, TV is not the best judge of these kind of things, but the amount of work that needs to go into, you know, first making sure that you're not linked to the person in any way, shape or form, making sure that no evidence can be found that would incriminate you, is so obscene that it would make the regular person just be like, you know what, even though I might have these thoughts, let me just allow it, because the likelihood of me getting away with it's not going to happen. But for some reason, people still try. And they get caught with fucking ease. And then they find evidence. They find a fucking group chat on your phone with all the evidence of you saying what you're saying. Like, plotting the entire thing from the minute you had the issue to the day it fucking happened. Like, honestly, I'm not too sure if it's arrogance, if it's just like redactness, idiocy, all the above. But damn, absolutely damn. And yeah, RIP to that young lady. She didn't deserve to go out that way, man. Absolutely crazy way to go out. Yo, big up Robert Henry Poet. Appreciate you, brother. What's good, man? Bang your fucking chest, my guy. What's happening? Next on the list, let's quickly post about this. So this post I originally saw on the Fire Naked subreddit, but I didn't have any context on it. So I'm going to play the whole entire clip. And basically the context here is, if you watched UFC 296, and you watch my live stream, I've said a few times, I'm sure other people have said it because I'm not fucking unique in this, but when I was watching the Tony Ferguson versus what's his face, Paddy Pimblett fight, the first thing that sort of struck me was like, oh shit, you know, it's probably time for Tony Ferguson to hang it up. He's looking, you know, like a shadow of his former self, unfortunately. and that was kind of the narrative, I guess, after the fight too, because Brendan spoke about it as well. But Brendan had an interesting point when he said that. It kind of seemed to really get under his skin that people are saying this as a comment, that Tony Ferguson should retire. He doesn't like that narrative, and maybe I guess as a former fighter, he has a reason not to. But for some reason, he then slipped in Bryan Callen and about his comedy career. It was a strange little segue, strange little comment. I'm going to play the entire clip so you can hear it, but I don't know why Bryan Callen was the first person he thought of. So let's play the clip anyway, and so you can get some context of it. And then I think the Bryan Callen stuff comes at the end. I'll play the whole entire thing so you can hear what he said. But it's a very interesting quote, a very interesting clip. Sorry.
I just think it's I think there's two guys on this card who are probably done. It's Colby Covington and Tony Ferguson.
Ferguson for like sure. Man.
Here's the problem with now. Let's talk about Tony and Paddy Pimblett. Tony Ferguson, even though he had David Goggins in his corner, and his cardio was there, but David Goggins can't help in those regards. But the problem with Tony Ferguson is if the UFC cuts him, which they probably will, if the UFC cuts him, Tony's such a dog, he signs with Bare Knuckle. Do you want to see Tony and Bare Knuckle? That's the kind of guy he is. Bare Knuckle is right up his alley. So do you want to see Tony go from the would you rather him continue to fight in the UFC, if that's even an option? Or would you rather see him go on over to Bare Knuckle, where it's the most brutal thing,
Yeah, I don't know.
And I'm sure me and Cal will talk about him fighting the kid, and he'll defend all. Here's the issue. We don't know Tony's personal financial situation. We don't know if he's good. All this guy knows is fighting. So it's easy for everybody in here and for Bryan and his private jets and his rich dad to go, he should just stop. Everyone says this about fighters. Well, he in the community.
Isn't that like a weird bar to throw at fucking Bryan Callen with his rich dad and his private jets? Isn't Brendan also from a family of some level of affluence? His dad is fucking retired. Like, his dad invented some pretty sick computer system thing or something and made a bunch of money. His dad's very well off, and they were since they were kids. So why is he acting as if like him and Bryan are... Don't get me wrong, I'm sure Bryan Callen's dad's probably got more M's in his bank account than Brendan's, because he's worked, was it for Citibank, I think, in the Middle East and shit, right? Some people would say he might be a CIA operative, who knows? I didn't say that, some people say that. But it's not as if they're like that far apart. But I guess Brendan now, because he's wearing trucker hats and because he's driving 2004 cars, he now is what? Blue collar. He's now working class. He's now salt of the earth.
He says this, the fans say this. He should just stop. What should he do? It's all he knows. It's the only way he feeds his family. Well, that's on him. He didn't set things up. He can't. The UFC makes it very tough. Tony didn't come up like a Paddy Pimblett or Sugar Sean in that era where there was Twitch and sponsors like that. You limit them to Reebok, so that cuts them at the knees. So he's supposed to allocate resources to plan over, but you want to be all in to be a world champion. So it's this weird thing. It's so easy for us to go, he needs to stop. Yeah, how's he going to feed his kids? You going to pay for it? You going to pay for it? I can't. I got to feed my own kids. Who's going to cover Tony's bills? Who's going to cover his mortgage, his car payments, his wife, his insurance? Remember, the UFC don't give you insurance. Not for the family. Who's going to cover all that? And we're all quick to go, he needs to stop. You stop doing the job you're doing right now and completely reinvent yourself. And not only do that, but at the same time, make a living doing it right away. That covers the bills. That's why these guys keep fighting. This is why this lawsuit that these guys are going against the UFC is so important. These guys should be set. You think if Tony was set, he would have taken 7 losses in a row? No. That's why Connor's not foaming at the mouth to get back in there. He's good. All these guys should be, a guy at Tony's level should be good. But he's not, because of the pay structure. They screw these guys over. And we're so quick that guy should stop. He should retire. Okay, and do what? Be a kickboxing instructor? Making $10 a fucking session? That doesn't pay his bills.
odd way to insult kickboxers out there, kickboxing instructors, as if to say, being a kickboxing instructor, you can't make a considerable amount of money, especially if you're somebody like Tony Ferguson. With his name, with his contacts, with his pull, there's no way you can make more than $10 an hour. It's interesting. It's like he's defending Tony. He's also kind of putting him down, and he's also doing a bit of moral grandstanding in general. You know? It's kind of a weird thing. In an effort to kind of defend Tony and his right to fight, to feed his family, he's also in a weird way sucking himself off. Classic Brendan.
He's been making 6 figures, 7 figures for the last 10 years. You know? Just so quick. Everyone's so quick. Yeah, that guy needs to stop. And do what? It's too easy. We're all quick to judge these guys. They need to stop. They need to stop fighting. Oh, yeah? You're going to pay his mortgage? Nope. So that for Tony, it's tough. You never hear me. That guy needs to stop. We all do this. Guy needs to stop. It's like telling Callen, you need to stop doing stand-up. I can't, man. I have to pay the bills. I know, but you need to stop. Okay. Are you going to cover what I would make on the road? Oh, you're not? Well, I got to keep doing it. But it's physical health. I know.
Can you imagine how you'd feel if you're Callen and you heard that? Why his name was mentioned. As if he needs to stop. As if this is a conversation they've been having in the background. Isn't that strange? The Tony Ferguson point that he made is whatever. It's redacted, right? Tony Ferguson's been in the... I think did they even start UFC at the same time, period? I'm not too sure. But in my head, I believe that Brendan and Tony's start to the UFC wasn't that far apart in terms of when they first got into it. I don't know. Maybe I'm mistaken. I'm not going to fucking look at the details to find out. But run with me here a bit. It's not as if Tony's been fighting since, you know... It's not as if Tony only started fighting in 1987. He's been around when there's internet and there's social media. He's got a decent social media fucking platform and profile. I'd imagine he's probably got hundreds of thousands of followers, if not maybe a couple of mil. He's not a fucking, you know, nobody out here. He's had some very big epic fights. Some of that he's lost, but on huge cards. He's probably made a decent amount of money over the years. If he's invested it well or saved it well, he's probably okay for the most part. You'd imagine. He'd probably be okay. And if he did retire and he did kind of decide to hang up his gloves, I'm sure there are plenty of opportunities that he could kind of, you know, get involved in if he did want to do it. Whether it is go to bare knuckle, whether it is doing analysis shit, he's not going to be short of options. So this weird fake faux empathy concern thing he's doing is a little bit lame. But let's move on to the Bryan Callen thing. The Bryan Callen thing is an interesting thing he's making because I almost feel like he's talking about himself. I almost feel like he's not really talking about Tony Ferguson or Bryan Callen. He's actually talking about himself. And he's kind of trying to answer or clap back or respond to the haters and trolls, like people like myself who say, why does he bother doing stand-up when he's not good at it? Why does he bother doing stand-up when he's not selling tickets? Why does he bother doing stand-up when he's cancelling his European and UK tour 2 weeks before he leaves? I think this is him answering this and saying, hey, I have to do this to feed my family, which is quite depressing, right? He's basically admitting that, hey, I only do stand-up because it pays the bills. So he's putting himself through this excruciating experience where for some reason, again, I don't know why personally, but he's not improving. Year on year, he's not getting funnier. His jokes are getting more redacted. As a person, he's not really evolving or changing. His experiences in life aren't really going anywhere, so he has nothing to really inform his fucking stand-up. His worldview is very, very narrow, so that's probably not going to help it either. And he's just going on the road and performing and doing shows just to pay the bills, just to keep his kids in private school, just to make sure his wife has a fucking walk-in wardrobe full of Balenciaga and Gucci. That must be a pretty crazy place to be in, especially when you know all your peers don't respect you. Especially when you know the industry has largely turned against you. And it's all your own doing, especially when you know you have a subreddit of like 150,000 plus people whose sole purpose in life is to wake up every single day and clip every redacted thing that you say and do. That must be so depressing. That must be so horrible, which is why I think sometimes a lot of these comedians that say, oh, the people online that say mad things, mean things are just haters. I think it's a cope. It's a cope because there's no way a regular person can look at these guys like this. When you strip away all the material stuff that they have that everybody would like. Who wouldn't like to live in a house like Brendan's? Who wouldn't like to drive a car like Brendan does, right? Who wouldn't like to have their kids go to the best schools they can go to? Of course you'd like that. But when you strip away all the material possessions and you just look at them as human beings, there's not much to fucking look up to. There's not much to envy. There's not much to want there, really, or be jealous of at all in the slightest. So when people poke fun and tease these guys or whoever they are in stand-up, it's usually coming from a real place. It's like, hey, you're a redact. You got given this amazing opportunity to do what the hell you wanted with life, to basically get paid for talking into a microphone and telling fucking dick jokes on stage. And look at what you're doing with this opportunity. Look at what you're doing with this once in a lifetime opportunity to just make a living, you know, via the virtue of being an adult child. And look what you're doing. You're fucking it up. People are allowed to point and laugh at that. And then when you speak about world issues, you sound incredibly, incredibly detached from reality. That's why it's funny, and that's why it will continue to be funny. Because for some reason, these guys can't seem to wrap around their heads that regular schmegular people like you and I maybe are just looking at things from an objective point of view with no investment and thinking, why is he doing this? Why is she doing that? Why are they saying this? Why are they going there? It's like, it doesn't make any sense. And it's kind of wild how they talk about each other also. Because imagine this being your co-worker, one of your best friends, and they go on one of their shows and they talk about you in this way. They use you as an analogy of how you should stop doing stand-up. They kind of dismiss your opinion because you grew up rich. You grew up with a silver spoon. They dismiss your right to have an opinion. They say you can't have an opinion on one of the most, you know, highly regarded fighters in the UFC. You can't have the opinion that maybe he should retire for the sake of his health. You're not allowed to have that opinion because you grew up rich. Imagine how that make you feel, especially if you're Callen and you're the guy that in part gave Brendan a fucking career. And here he is, you know, mocking you, taking the piss and talking down on you. It's kind of wild. It really is kind of wild. But I honestly do think this whole point that he made was mostly about him. I think mostly about him. He's heard people say, hey, you should quit. You're crap. Your specials are horrible. Worst voted special of all time. Blah, blah, blah. He's heard all the stuff. But he's basically saying, I do stand up to feed my family. Which in fact might make him a blue-collar stand-up comedian. Oddly enough, that actually might make him a blue-collar stand-up comedian. He clocks in and clocks out. There's no wanting to put on a fun show. There's no wanting to talk about things and break taboos and push the envelope and change the game. Nope. It's all about blue collar worker. Clock in, clock out. I'm here to feed my... It's like that meme. Brendan is that meme. I think I'm going to make this as a thumbnail. Brendan is this meme, right? Brendan is this meme. Let me see if I can get it up on here. Let's see if I can get up on it. Let's see. Brendan is this meme, and I'm gonna make this one. I'm probably gonna make this the thumbnail when I do clip this up later. But Brendan is this meme. You know this one? That's Brendan when it comes to stand-up comedy. It ain't much, but it's honest work. That's what it is, you know? These comedy gigs are not a way to provide entertainment. They're not a way for him to like achieve his dreams and get, you know, maybe follow in the footsteps of his idols or just create cool work or leave a legacy. Nah, it's about clocking in and clocking out. And personally, I couldn't think of a more horrible profession to do as a job. You have to love what you do. Can you imagine being I love DJing, right? But can you imagine being a DJ and you only do it to pay the bills? You actually don't like being in nightclubs. You actually don't like loud music. You actually hate ravers and people coming up to you and saying, hey, I love you as a... Imagine only doing that just to pay the bills. Imagine how depressing that must be. Every day having to leave your house, get on a plane to go play somewhere exotic and you're hating every minute of it. That's horrible. Imagine that. So imagine being a stand-up comedian and going to fucking comedy bars. Going to the fucking, I don't know, the Laugh Factory in fucking Omaha. Or some comedy club in a fucking shopping mall or in a casino. And you're having to do it just for the money. You don't love it. You don't care about it. You don't want to, nothing. It's just for the money. It's just to make sure you can keep paying your car note. Ouch. 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 Anyway, what are you guys saying in the chat here? I've been rambling on my fucking monologue forever. What are you guys saying here? All these guys blow their money on drugs and hookers and buying expensive shit. They probably are broke, says Cast Iron Pan. Yeah. I don't think there's a big drug problem with those guys. I don't think so, you know. I just think it's probably lifestyle. I don't think it's drugs. I think it's just lifestyle. Getting planes everywhere, buying clothes and shit. I don't think it's drugs. I don't get the feeling these guys are like hooked on drugs. I think if a comedian was on drugs, they'd be just crazy. You could tell it straight away. I don't think there's many of these stand-up comedians that are like doing party drugs, for instance. They might obviously do pills and shit, but I just think it's actually way more lamer. Yeah, it's actually lamer that there's not more party comedian guys who are like pushing it, right? Like who's the guy that had his he blew out his sinus from doing too much coke and shit? There's no more of those kind of rock star guys. If anything, they're just wasting their money on flying out fucking 17-year-olds to come and see them perform somewhere and then fucking them in hotel rooms. That's probably where they're wasting all their money. That's the funny thing about it. It's not actually going to anything fun. It's actually going to like, you know, hooking up with underage girls, which is... Yeah, Artie, exactly, Artie Lang. There's no real, like, where's the rock star comedians? Where's the fucking... Who's the guy that smokes all the cigarettes and shit? Where's those guys? He looks like a fucking comedian. Drinks beer, smokes cigarettes, has got really, really, really interesting and forward-thinking and controversial points. You know, pushes, melds politics and dice. Come on, man. Come on. Where are these guys? They're all vanilla. They're all fucking boring. Would you really want to go on a night out with any of these guys, really? On a night out, really? You know? Nah, I'm all good. Even Louis J. Gomez. Would you really want to party with him? Not really. You know, they're not fun. They don't really... There's nothing going on there. It's just... What are they doing? Boring. Boringo. Baranga. Boringo. Anyways, let's continue on. Let's see this. Oh, what? Sorry, I was reading the chat, wasn't I? 150k, damn salute. Yeah. I saw a post recently, actually. If you go on there, they've got a little celebration post where they're talking about crossing that milestone. So there's over 150,000 people on that TFATK subreddit. It's absolutely crazy, man. It's fucking insane. I fucking love that place. Big up Ryan Joseph. Why can't Shub look at the positives ever? He makes everything dark and negative. Yeah, because his life is dark and negative, brother. It is what it is, isn't it? It's whenever I hear him speak about those type of things, because he's a crazy narcissist, it's always going to be kind of him talking about himself through those stories. It's never usually about the story. It's always somewhere in part talking about himself, because it involves hate, it involves people telling you what to do, because he's kind of saying that Tony Ferguson point as also a way to kind of explain why he took the Showtime deal. People always say I shouldn't take the Showtime deal, but what would you do if you were me? What would you do if you were me? It's like, bro, back then you're still underestimating how popular and well liked you were back then. That period before Showtime, Brendan was actually not as hated as he is now. He was still in Joe Rogan's good books. If he just would have let that Showtime deal go for 1 year, just 1 year, not even 2, 1 year only, it would have been much better for it, probably. But again, short-sighted, takes it. And then when he took the deal, so people also mistake that. When he took the deal, it wasn't like he was being like humble about it. He was really letting his nuts hang. He was really, there were some episodes of The Fight and the Kid where he was kind of like not seriously and seriously mocking Bryan for not selling tickets. Like laughing at him because he was selling out and he wasn't. It's like, you know, hey, I don't believe in karma, but sometimes be careful how you treat people on your way up, because you might see them on your way down, as they say. What you guys saying here? I remember watching the Tough with Schaub as a unassuming, quiet guy. This shit has got way out of hand. Yeah, exactly. I just think in general, I just think my baseline thesis is this. I just think in general, Brendan's one of those type of personalities, and I've met a few of them, because again, I think when I was growing up, I was really kind of, I had a little bit of like entitlement in me as well. I had a little bit of like I was one of those guys in school or in college and shit who was always told they were special, right? I was always kind of told, oh, you're going to do great things. You're going to do great things. And I started to believe it. I was like to gas myself up, because I was like, you know, I was kind of smart and shit. I got good grades. And what that does to your brain, because I've been there. That's what I'm saying. I've spoken from a point. I've been there. It fucks with your brain, because you start to think you deserve things, and you start to have this really toxic sense of entitlement. Then when I left college and I graduated from uni and shit, I went to a really good one. I did art, I did all this kind of crazy shit, right? I'm winning all these awards, and then suddenly your career isn't matching all this academic thing that you were kind of given, right? So people were sucking you off academically, right? And then you go into the real world, and I couldn't get a fucking bartending job. I'm like, hold on, but I was special. I got design awards in school. Look. I got patterns in my name and shit. Nah, I couldn't even get a bartending job. And I was like, whoa, real humbler. And then you meet people who are like, you know, who maybe aren't as good as you at your particular thing that you want to do. Let's say it's art. And then they're succeeding and they're doing really well in their careers. And then you almost feel as if like that should be yours. Like, I deserve that. It's mine. I'm the special one. So I think there's a part of Brendan that's always felt like he was destined for greatness or something. And then when you met Rogan, and Rogan put that battery in his back, and then he got everything he wanted in life, because, you know, I think he's one of those type of dudes who always wanted a big house, always wanted a wife that looks like his wife, always wanted cars in his garage, you know, always wanted a bunch of kids, yeah, always wanted to wear this stuff, whatever he's wearing, you know. He's had these kind of like he's had these things he wanted to tick off. Now he's got them. You can't tell him shit. Someone like that, you can't tell them shit, because he always felt he deserved this lifestyle. He got it by chance, you know. It's just a luck thing, really. For the most part, especially the meeting of Rogan. And now that he's got it, you can't tell him shit. And I've seen these people before. I've met them before, and there's nothing worse than having that type of attitude. Because again, I had a little bit of it, and I was lucky because I had it academically, and I kind of got rid of it very quickly when I went into the real world. And I was making like £6 an hour, right? When you start winning awards in school for like design, and then suddenly you're making £6 an hour, it reminds you where your actual value is, you know, and then you have to kind of work your way up. So that was fine. So I was lucky. I kind of was able to shed away all that toxic traits early. I didn't let that get into my late 20s. But when you're like him, it's hard. It's almost impossible to change it. Especially him. He's a grown up, bro. He's like 40 something years old with 3 children and a wife. Like, come on, it's not happening. It's not happening. It just is what it is. What are you guys saying here? 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 Yeah, exactly. Assad, you know what? I swear to God, Assad. Exactly, Assad. Never believe in yourself. That's the number one. Exactly. Exactly. You're not that special. And then when I left school, guess what? When I went online, I started using social media, I found out that there's a ton of people all over the world who were told they were special, just like I was. I thought I was the only one that was special. And I get on social media and I see a ton of, what do you call them? I see a ton of frustrated artists. I see a ton of starving artists who all felt that they were special, and they were all told they were special. And I was like, oh, I wasn't even that special. She told everybody that. Honestly, man, I swear to God. Oh. Exactly. There you go, Snake. That's a good humbler too. I was a top grade entitled little fool myself. I ended up imprisoned. Exactly. Life doesn't matter if it's prison. Doesn't matter if it's not getting able to get a job. Doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if it's living at home. Doesn't matter if it's asking money from your fucking friends and shit. Life will always humble you. It really will always remind you, hey, settle down. Life will always do that to you. I fucking love it. It'll always fucking humble you. Oh, anyway, let's move on. This is how you start a show. This is another clip from Find the Kids subreddit, guys. Big up them. Let's see what this one's saying.
2023 is coming to an end. You don't hear a lot of excitement for 2024. 2023 was tough. I mean, we got to figure out our schedule as far as SCHAUB'S show goes. We did our last one today because Christmas is next Monday.
I know. I think we take we'll do
off?
Wednesday, and then we'll take that week off.
Yeah,
because I'm going to be in.
Yo, it's been a dark year for them, innit? It's been a bit of a dark year. It's been a tough year. Actually, what happened to the Steven Crowder shit? What happened to the Steven Crowder shit? Wasn't that the start of the year? That big fucking video of like Steven Crowder shaking his little hips. What happened to that whole shit? Them all wearing suits and stuff. Him dressing up as a cow. What happened to that?
I'm going to be in Florida anyway. I'm going to go then to Charlotte. I got to do Charlotte.
Okay, too much, right?
Yeah, Charlotte.
He's so fucking rude to him. Okay, too much. He's so fucking rude. But I also love how Brendan only finds out about Bryan's. I have to have a confession here. I kind of feel Brendan on this. I kind of understand why he gets annoyed with Brendan here. Because for some reason, Bryan has these plans. He always has these trips. That's one way you can tell Bryan is from a rich family. He comes from wealth. Actually, not rich. He comes from wealth. Because he has these random vacations in the middle of the week. I'm going to Greece. I'm off to London. I'm going to Paris. I'm going to Vermont. I'm going to Florida. Like, he just has these random things. It's not even to do with comedy. I'm going to visit my whatever. And it's like, oh, that's what wealth is. Do you know what I mean? Because somebody bought you the ticket. Hey, come out here and visit me in my log cabin somewhere. But I love that how Brendan only finds out Bryan's plans on the show. Always last minute. Even though these plans were probably put in place ages ago, he finds out on the day. Because Bryan's one of those type of people that I'm guessing doesn't like, I won't say confrontation, but, you know, he doesn't say stuff up front. He just always does it last minute. Chaos act. He's like a chaos actor, isn't it? Like last minute. Like he loves the idea of like running to a fucking audition while you're eating a sandwich and reading over the lines and then wiping your stuff down before you go in there. Like, hey, I'm Bryan Callen. You know what I mean? He loves all that kind of hustle and bustle running shit. Instead of just saying, hey, texting your friend and be like, by the way, I can't do the podcast this day because I'm flying. He finds out on the day. It's fucking insane. So I understand why Brendan gets annoyed with him.
A Comedy Zone.
So we'll just have one.
Yeah.
And then the holidays.
Yeah. We take the holidays off. Like civilized human beings.
So no Wednesday like next week or just
No, he's
Mondays?
saying Wednesday next week. And
Yeah,
that's
Wednesday
it.
next
That's
week.
it. No
Okay.
Monday. We'll do Wednesday, and then that's it till.
Oh, so January 1st week.
So we'll take a week off. So it'll be Wednesday.
Chin is so fucking dumb.
This Wednesday is our last thing, and then we won't do another one until the following Wednesday, I guess, or
Yeah, the following Wednesday makes sense.
no,
but
that's when
no?
Christmas is, isn't it? So
No, look, the calendar's right there.
Christmas
so Christmas is on Monday.
Christmas is next Monday. So
It's funny from this clip, what you can tell is that they don't talk to each other outside of this room. There's not even a group chat that's popping. Most likely they have a group chat and Brendan doesn't probably reply. Bryan doesn't check it. It's just George and Chin exchanging memes and fucking hentai. They don't talk to each other. What is this conversation on the podcast? Why are you discussing your days of your, like, what is this nonsense? What is this rambling? What is this shit? But it's because they don't talk to each other.
well, Wednesday would be the 27th.
So we're good there.
no, I won't be able to make that. I could, but then I have to come back, and then I have to go right back to Charlotte, though.
Thanks for letting us know on the day, Bryan. Thanks for just finding this out. Thank you, Bryan. He's like a little child, isn't it? If Bryan didn't have Brendan, he would be fucked, really, wouldn't it? He would just have to rely on daddy's money. I'm almost convinced. It's not a real human, this guy. He's like 60 years old and he has the maturity. I don't know what it is. He's almost like, but I wonder if that's like a thing that comedians try to keep. He acts like an infant. You know, he acts like an actual child. Like, Brendan comes across way more mature and put together than Bryan does. When Bryan's like 20 years his senior and shit. It's like, why is that? He dresses like a dad, but he acts like, you know, he doesn't act like one, basically.
And then this Wednesday, are we good?
I can do it if we have to.
No, you don't worry about flying back then.
Okay.
Boss said, okay,
so
thank
we
you,
would
boss.
be, so this would be our last one till the 3rd.
Yeah. So not this one. We're going to do one on Wednesday, aren't we? This Wednesday?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, my bad. So it's this week, next week off.
Yeah.
And then
Come back,
Christmas week off.
Good. Come back fired up.
Come back with some.
Jesus Christ, man. What a horrible show. This is what clocking in, clocking out means. And again, I know everything is a job, whatever it may be, but I swear to God, like, there will probably come a time where the streams that I do would allow me to fucking pay my way in life. That will probably happen, right? If I do them long enough, it's just a numbers game and whatever. Because if I keep it up again, if I don't go on another fucking crazy drug bender, I'll probably be all right. But I don't do it for that. I do it because it's fun, you know? It's fun to just talk shit with you guys, watch some clips, waste some time, stay up late, maybe have a little bit of a drink and shit. It's fun to do this. And in these guys' position, they have to even better opportunity. Like they have the most incredible gift where they get given a platform by proxy of being friends with Rogan that gets elevated, right? They have a platform that gets elevated through Rogan. So you've even got a longer, like if you start without Rogan, you've got a certain amount of shelf life. But if you're with Rogan, you kind of get a bit of a boost. So they've got probably another 5 years on top of whatever they were meant to have. Enjoy it. Use that kind of freedom to, like, you know, change up the show format, change up the subjects, the guest or something. Make it fun. And these guys are here like, it's like pulling teeth, bro. This feels like an all hands company meeting on a Monday, you know, or a stand-up when you know you haven't done the work beforehand and you're dreading them coming around to you. This feels horrendous, bro. Like, God damn. But hey, what do I know? Moving on, we've got another one called Genghis Khan. Genghis Khan. Genghis Khan. Let's hear Brian Callen tell us about Genghis Khan.
His behavior.
Even in the animal kingdom, when the poachers would come in and kill the big male elephants and take their tusks, they had the longest tusks. What would happen is the adolescent males they didn't grow up with the big males telling them how to behave. So they would start bullying everybody and like goring the older females. And the entire structure broke down.
Yep.
Genghis Khan, when Genghis Khan was taking over the world, the young boys would follow, they would watch the older men so they could learn how to be warriors.
Yep.
But the younger boys would watch the older boys come in, rape, kill, just indiscriminately take shit, right? Guess what happened? Those younger boys would go back to the camps and they would do that to the women in their camp.
What?
They would turn on they would like, well, what?
That's how we act.
That's how my fucking
do.
brother does it. My dad does it.
What's wrong with it?
So then they'd see a girl over there and they'd rape her.
Yo. Using Genghis Khan to justify your fucking rape accusations is fucking insane. Using Genghis Khan to justify your grape accusations is fucking insane. So Genghis Khan would rape all the women in the village and then he'd pass them on to the children. And then the children would say that, Daddy, can you give me that fresh grape? And then they would wash the grapes and hand them to the children. And then the men will become men. Big up Austin Casey, I appreciate you.
As I've been wanting to ask you this, if Popper's entire Thick's boy network and brand is centered around him being thick, should he rename the network now that he is losing all the weight on Ozempic?
Austin Casey. Wow. Brain buster. Thank you for the donation, but first of all, brain buster. If Brendan is thick, the network is thick, but he's no longer thick, should it be called Thick Boy? Can Thick Boy be a lifestyle if you're not living the lifestyle of a thick boy? Wow. Impressive. I wonder, to be honest, you know what's funny about the Ozempic thing? He still hasn't admitted it. And I'm confused why. There is some suggestion that he may have not admitted it because there's some deal. He's got some brand deal or something that may, you know, I don't know if it's Rain. That Rain energy drink. Maybe Rain energy because maybe with Rain energy drink, he's listed as like an athlete, right? He's like an athletic ambassador or something. So maybe those type of promotions or those type of brand deals, there is weird things tied in, some small print where you can't, I don't know, whatever. I'm just shocked he hasn't admitted it. I'm swear to God, I'm shocked he hasn't admitted it. It's odd. Because it's obvious he's on Ozempic. There's a clip I saw on the Friday the Kid sub where he said he's quitting drinking now. And guess what is one of the common side effects of Ozempic? You guessed it, addiction fucking prevention. Loads of people who have been on Ozempic have said like they quit boozing, they quit smoking cigarettes and shit. It does something to, I guess, all of your addictions. If you're addicted to food, it stops you eating food. If you're addicted to booze, it stops you drinking booze. Or it stops making booze as appetizing as it once was. Kind of crazy, isn't it? But he doesn't want to admit it. Oh, is that true? Okay, yeah. Uche said there. I'm writing a research paper on that right now. Sick. So there's something there. I don't know what's happening. I want to know. If somebody asked me one question, I could ask Brendan. You know what it'll be? What's happening with TFATK? I want to know what's happening with fucking TFATK whiskey. Forget everything else. I want to know what's happening with TFATK whiskey. What the fuck has happened with that? And the second question will be, how many bottles do you have in storage? I would love to know what's happening with TFATK and how many bottles he has left in storage. Because I bet you he has an absolute crate full of them. Pallets just stacked up with that fucking soy sauce bottle looking shit. I bet there's pallets somewhere in some dockyard somewhere in America with tons and tons of fucking TFATK whiskey sitting in there. Batch 1, by the way. Batch 1. Crazy, bro. That venture, that hustle was so insane. So insane. Doing that all by yourself without, going with doing it with just basically doing a white label thing that everyone does. I still don't understand why he did that. Maybe my running theory of why he just didn't do what every other celebrity does, where they just kind of whack their own label on an already pre-made drink or whatever, maybe on a pre-made bottle of liquor. I've got the feeling that maybe he didn't pass the threshold test for them. Maybe there's a certain amount of followers, engagement, even money that you need to get those sort of like deals where you can have a liquor company just kind of, link up with you, let you do all the branding for it, let you sell the whole idea that, oh, I was working on this recipe for ages, but you just put your label in it and they do all the back end stuff. Maybe those type of deals aren't as easy as they make them seem. Maybe you have to be a certain level of celebrity. You might have to have a certain level of reach or money to get those deals. That might explain why he never did it and he tried to do it by himself. Maybe. Who knows? Yeah, exactly. Brandon says someone's going to win all that whiskey in storage wars. Hilarious. Ask Jay about that. Robert Minnis, exactly. Aaron Rodgers bought it. Exactly. That's why Aaron Rodgers won't be coming back this season. That's why. Because he's busy securing the TFATK deal. Why didn't I think of that? Aaron Rodgers is busy securing the TFATK deal. That's why he can't focus on coming back. Duh. Forget rehab. Forget that. Anyway, let's continue. Let's go to this clip. His boy Matt RUROORAAH. Who's that? Who's this? Let's see his pronunciation. Who the fuck is this? Let's put the bitrate down so it doesn't play crazy as well, and let's put the sound up here. Let's see who's his boy. Who's this Matt RUROORAAH guy? Who's this? Let's see who's this person? Who's this Matt guy?
You gotta watch him fight.
French
he fought our boy. He fought our boy
judo
FERGUSON last time, and it was a fucking nightmare.
Wait, what was he doing? What was he?
He knocked out our boy Matt Steamroller FERGUSON with a KO head kick.
Who? Matt how do you spell that name? Who's that? Matt FREVOLA. I'm not really familiar with this UFC fighter. How do you actually pronounce his name? Matt FREVOLA. Isn't it Matt FREVOLA, right? How to pronounce? I'm sure it's just Matt FREVOLA. Right? What else could it be? Let's see here. I only hear someone mentioning his name. Let's see how you do it. Isn't it Matt FREVOLA? He said Matt RUROORAAH. How the fuck did he say that name so fast? Let me see what it says here. Is this an audio clip of it? Let's see. Oh, come on, go away, you piece of shit. Let's see here. What is this? Let's play. Is it gonna play? Can we hear you, please, Matt Frevola? Are you gonna play for us? Rate the
Matt Frevola.
Matt Frevola. Matt Frevola.
Matt Frevola.
What did he say?
You gotta watch him fight.
French
He fought our boy. He fought our boy
judo
Favola last time, and it was a fucking nightmare.
Wait, what was he doing? What was he?
He knocked out our boy Matt Steamroller Favola with a KO head kick.
Farola. Why do you keep saying Farola?
Steamroller Favola with a KO.
Farola. Yo, big up Zach. Appreciate you, bro.
He had a baby with Whitney as a business move.
I love that this meme is a thing, or this rumor is actually gaining traction. Big up, yo. Appreciate you.
Tiger Thick Fund.
Yeah.
We need a taste test stream.
That's coming. If I can get that shipped over, I'm gonna do it. But yeah, big up, yo. Big up, Zach. Appreciate both of you. Yeah, the Whitney thing is hilarious, man. I want that to be true so bad. The chaos and the drama that would cause, the fucking streams. Oh, the streams, the hours and hours of entertainment, the laughs we will have in the fucking chat, the LOLs, the fucking belly rubs, if that's true. Oh, I want that to be true so badly. I swear to God I do. But it probably isn't. You know? I want it to be fucking true for the pure chaos nature of it, but it probably isn't. Damn. And yeah, Tiger Fix soon come as well. But yeah, big up Brendan with his fucking pronunciation. What did he call him again? One more time. What did he call this guy? Mafarora.
What was he?
He knocked out our boy Matt Steamroller Favola with a
Farola, like Ferrero Rocher.
Matt Frevola.
Frivola, Ferrora, same thing. Great guy. I didn't meet him. Let's move on. Is someone forcing Papa to do fight companions? Okay, let's do this. Who's forcing him to do fight companions? Let's see this clip.
When you're hanging around the tennis guys.
Yes.
Bunch of cucks.
No. No, don't say that.
Yeah, sorry.
No, don't say that. Can I get in your truck, or I'm not allowed still? Not.
It's still no.
Still no.
Definitely not now. Yeah.
Not now, huh?
No.
Not allowed in the truck.
Not allowed in the truck. We missed you on. I could have used you on companion.
Of course.
Because you know Bradley and Rampage he's the best. He's absolutely best. We talked a lot of flat Earth. Because the fights were a little boring. We talked a lot of flat Earth, and then Rampage. He doesn't watch UFC fights. Like he's not into the UFC. It's just
love how insulting he is.
He's
but Bradley
great.
does, doesn't he?
Not really. So it was like I can't go too deep on it.
I call Bradley.
So why did you invite him to your show then? I've never worked out why he does the fight companions with those people anyway. I've always said he does the fight companion. He should always do it with like Eric Griffin or Brian or Chris because he knows them, right? Or just do it by yourself. Why can't he just do an MMA Guru? Why can't he just do what MMA Guru does? Instead of doing the prelims, fuck it, just start from the main card and just do the fight companion on your own. Get yourself some drinks and just do it. There's no need to have all those people there anyway. You know what I mean? Like, and take questions and shit. Like that would be way better to do than having those people on there. And if they don't know anything about the fighting, why do you have them on the show then? For Bradley, that is very telling because Bradley clearly doesn't give a fuck about fighting, apart from his little joke he does about he could beat up anybody because of how big he is. So Bradley's literally doing it for the paycheck. Bradley Martin could give a fucking toss about Tony Ferguson. So he's literally doing it for the paycheck and maybe the whatever bonus clout he gets from it. I don't think so because, I think Bradley Martin's entire YouTube channel is probably bigger than Thick Boy. So it's not as if he's getting anything from there. So he's just doing it for the money. He's literally doing it for the fucking money. So you've got one guy doing it for the money and another guy doing it for what? Exposure? I don't know. It's a weird thing, that whole thing. Anyway, it's fucking bizarre. I still don't know why he just doesn't do it on his own. But hey, too much work for him, innit? Too much work. So let's move on and let's talk about Toontown. Toontown episode 2 has dropped and we need to watch it, right? We need to watch Toontown episode 2. So far, view-wise, it's tracking quite well. It probably might do better than the first episode. First episode got 19,000 views. and this one's on like 2.8, and it's only 7 hours ago. So it might get a lot of views in total, which is odd. But maybe the what? Because I think he said he's going to drop them once per month, innit? Which is a weird thing to do when you're doing these type of shows. But one episode per month might actually work, building the anticipation between the shows. So this might actually end up getting more views. So let's see what one. Did Brandon Shaw buy lemon? Lightning off the internet. Toontown episode 2. I love that how one episode has it in lowercase, one episode has it in uppercase. One is EP2, one is episode 2. Great template. Great fucking what's that thing called? Yeah, great fucking commonality in terms of the titles and whatever it's called. I love that. I love that. Attention to detail, level 100. Let's go. Let's fucking go. Let's see what he's saying here. Let's see what he's saying here. Let's see what he's saying here. Did he buy a lemon? Come on, Toontown. Load up for me, baby. Load up for me. That's it. No consistency. No naming convention. There we go. Consistency, B. Great guy. Never met him. Not consistent. The state, B. Not consistency. The state, B. Come on, you fucking piece of shit. Okay. Fiber optic is going a bit crazy. The light.
Now, things went south on the investment of that Ford Lightning.
I can't floor it. Doesn't work.
It blew the fuse as soon as we started it.
It's nerve-wracking buying a car from there. I'm looking for a Ford Lightning, dude. I need a Generation 2 Ford Lightning with no mods, low miles. I'm looking for a unicorn. I'm trying to find.
Oh, so is this the day that he actually bought it? Or are they like doing a little telenovela sketch thing? Because that would be really redacted, right? If they tried to make it look like this is the day he actually bought the thing by doing this shit. Because if there's one thing I can tell by the way he's looking using that computer, he's never used that computer. This looks like a man who doesn't use computers. He's using a computer the same way you use it when you go and print off papers, right? Where you go to like like an internet cafe to go print some fucking, a boarding pass. That's what he looks like. That doesn't look like somebody that uses a fucking desktop computer at home or in the studio. It's probably the first time he's ever touched it.
A nice price too. Oh. I think I found one, bud. I'm gonna look and I'm gonna like it.
This is the great acting that we saw in that Hollywood fucking blockbuster cameo shit that he did, right? This is the fucking type of level of acting that was having agents across Hollywood and further regions of the world busting at his door. Big up Courtney Kemper.
Chin didn't quadruple check the title consistency.
Yeah, there you go. That's the word. Title consistency. Oh yeah, triple. Oh yeah. So Chin is triple quadrupling shit before he go. He's checking it out when he's at work. He's checking it in the car. He's checking it when he goes home. He's checking it after he's buried the bodies in his garden. He's checking it after he's thrown some off his balcony. And then you still get those fucking errors. You fucking love it. Let's go.
Only 22,000 miles.
I also love the fact that now he's turned into the racing car merch guy. No more thick boy. He's now, every shop that he goes to, he buys merch from them. It's kind of redacted, isn't it? Every garage he goes to, he like buys merch. Hey, do you guys have t-shirts? I'll take anything in an XL. Like, what is this? This weird signaling, like I'm a gearhead because I've got fucking, car related merch. It's like, okay, cool, man. What happened to Thick Boy? What happened to Thick Boy Bike Club? What happened to that, mate? What happened? Oh.
4 minimal mods. Okay, it's in Arizona. How far is Arizona? 8 hours? Okay. Be a fun drive. Take the little man out of school, go get it.
This acting is so stupid and pointless. Why can't you just make the show around you trying to fix the car and get it back on, get it in working shape and shit, right? Or get it so it runs properly. Sorry. Why isn't that a good premise of a show? Why does it have to be this fake or this reenactment of how he bought the car? Why do you have to do this? Just make the show centered around, hey, I bought a lemon, I fucked up, I didn't test drive it properly, I missed out on some key things, or make it as a redemption thing. Why don't you make it as like a, hey, here's what you shouldn't do if you're gonna buy a Ford Lightning off the internet, sight unseen. Don't do this, don't do that, don't do that, and then at the end you get everything fixed. Why this fake reenactment? It's so stupid. But it also goes to show they don't have much content. This feels like they had to make this up. They had to kind of make this to kind of, you know, fluff it up a bit.
Let's give this fella a call. Yeah, I was just calling in regards to, I saw online you have a 2004.
Fuck off, you cunt. What the fuck is this? Come on, Brendan. Fuck off. What is this acting? What is this acting? No one's on the phone. No one's on the fucking phone. Come on, Brendan, brother. Come on. You're better than this, bro. You're better than this. Hey, hello? 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 I'm just calling about a car. Yeah, a car I saw on the internet. It's silver. Uh-huh. Oh, okay. Yeah. What do you say? What happened to the men? What happened to all the men, you mean? I don't know. Water? Huh? Weed? Dune? What, the movie Dune? Hair? Yeah, I've got some. It's like...
Ford Lightning? Yeah, the silver one. Yeah, I'd love to come by and see it. That could work. And in regards to mods, there's not too many mods on it, and it runs good. It's pristine, huh? Yeah, and I'll send an inspector out before I head down.
Bro.
But yeah, sounds good. What's up, dog? I think.
Oh my god, this acting is fucking horrendous. Oh my god, bro. This is so embarrassing.
We got one, baby! We'll see. Correct. Yeah. Yeah, they're cool. The plan is I'd love if one of your inspectors could go to the dealership.
Inspectors, lols. Big up Austin Casey.
You're right. If he actually did the episode about how he screwed up and bought a lemon, not only would it be funny, but it would actually be endearing. He might win some people over.
It really isn't that difficult. Big up Austin Casey. I appreciate it, brother. It really isn't that difficult. But again, every time we say sensible things about what Brennan should do, we always have to assume, we always have to caveat that, or we always have to keep in mind that the guy's a bona fide redact. Actually is redacted. Because also think about this. Think of this script. Think of this storyboard for this fucking episode. Why is this necessary? Why? It's a show about your cars or your journey into being a like, I don't, again, let's just play it. I don't want to keep pausing. Let's play it.
And just give it a once over for me. Yeah, it's right outside Phoenix.
Inspectors.
It's like 10 minutes outside.
Get one of your inspectors.
Phoenix. That works perfect for me. Perfect.
I bet you he spends the entire time sitting down. He takes his car to a garage, he sits down, lets some other man fix it. He takes his car to another garage, he sits down, he fixes it. The entire show will just be him sitting down. If he's not driving his car sitting down, he's sitting down waiting for another man to fucking fix his car. Wild.
Look forward to the call. But 1 hour. 1 hour. They have someone right outside there. They say he's like 20 minutes away. So they'll go get their peepers on it. Now you gotta hope the guy knows what he's looking for. You gotta hope he understands this type of car, because they might just specialize in.
Hey man, good good production quality, right? With the blinds just like bleeding all the way through his t-shirt. We love it. We fucking loved it.
And that's I didn't ask. That's why I messed up. Yeah.
You might mess up your mustache as well, brother. Again, I want to know. Someone please tell me in the stream chat. Why is this right-hand side of his mustache the problem area? Why is this side? Why can he never get it the same length as the other side? Why? Why is this side the problem area? It's so bizarre to me. Because a part of me just thinks, why don't you just follow your smile lines and just end it there? Or put your finger here or something. Why is it always this end longer than that end? Why?
I figure if they're inspectors, they know they're sending a guy who knows these type of cars. Because if they're just used to looking at like Jeep Wranglers, he probably won't know what to look for with mods.
What the fuck is an
This thing's as good as they say it is. The guy's exact words on the phone was, "This thing's show quality. This thing's show quality. It's spotless." So
Of course he's gonna say that. He's a fucking car salesman, or he's trying to sell a car. What person trying to sell a car, unless it's an absolute beater, who's gonna not tell you the car is good? And even I don't know much about cars, but unless you're actually willingly going to go buy a £500 car or something, who's going to tell you their car is a fucking lemon? They're not going to say that. Of course they're going to say show quality. You shouldn't, that should go in through one ear, out through the other.
It's also, the guy wants my money, and you're buying a car off the internet without looking at it.
There we go. Thank God he said that.
See how it goes.
So there we go. He's got, without looking, so he's actually admitting going to, oh my God, what the fuck are those dunks? Jesus Christ. He's actually admitting that he's buying this shoe sight unseen. Is fucking crazy.
Taco Bell's underrated, dude. 2 chicken quesadillas, a large Diet Pepsi. Oh, hold up. Shut your mouth. Shut up. Shh. This is them. Should I put on speaker? No. Hey.
Yeah. I wish they would have put on speaker, because I love how they cut so you can't see the screen. No one's fucking calling. I love how they cut the clip so you can't see the screen, because if you would have seen it, we would have seen the screen, right? Yeah. Look.
Large Diet Pepsi. Oh, hold up.
You get a phone. Shut up. You could easily turn it and we can see the screen, but we don't see it. Look.
Hey.
Look at that cut. Hey, it goes straight.
Yeah, that's what he said on the phone. No, I'm looking at it right now. I'll fly out there and I will drive it back to LA.
See, they keep switching the cameras so you can't see the. Because if you're on the phone, you would have this little light. You'd see this, but they keep switching it on the other side so you can't see it. You know, look. Every time they keep switching it.
No, I'm looking at it right now. I'll
Boom,
fly out
switch.
there and I will drive it back to LA. Okay, thank you. Excited. Yeah, thank you. Bye. Boom.
No one's on the phone. No one's there. Look at that face. He knows he's talking to nobody. It reminds me of that time I always tell you guys about my neighbor that I had, who used to pretend he was hooking up with a girl in his bedroom, but he was actually humping a pillow. Or as Brennan would say, a pillow.
What's up? He said it's absolutely spotless. So I will book my flight right now. I will pull my kiddo out of school and we will fly to Phoenix, Arizona and go pick up this 2004 Ford Lightning.
Hold on. Is he going to take his kid out of school midday to go and buy a car? No. He means he's picking him up after school, right? You're taking your kid out of school midday to go buy a car. That's the most LA thing I've ever heard in my life.
To Phoenix, Arizona and go pick up this 2004 Ford Lightning.
Hold on.
We will fly to Phoenix, Arizona and go pick up this 2004 Ford Lightning. One might ask why.
No, what did he say?
What's up? He said it's absolutely spotless. So I will book my flight right now. I will pull my kiddo out of school and
pull my kiddo out of school to go and pick up a Ford Lightning. But isn't the inspector going? So why do you need to pull your kid out of school? Isn't fucking Inspector Gadget, Inspector Lightning gonna go and check your car? This is such a irresponsible way to parent. Taking your kid out of school midday to go and pick up a car. Because anyway.
And we will fly to Phoenix, Arizona and go pick up this 2004 Ford Lightning. One might ask, why do I want a Ford Lightning? Well, there's an element of nostalgia for me. When I was in high school, these things were the bee's knees.
It's funny that you've never ever heard Brendan talk about a Ford Lightning. And he's mentioned Paul Walker a lot, right? From Fast and Furious, RIP to him. But you've never ever heard him mention this guy. Carl, big up him, Scott.
I'd rather watch Chin Fishing and his bad cooking.
I might have a surprise for you later then. Big up Scott, appreciate it, brother.
Didn't have to be a gearhead to know these things were freaking cool. The Ford's
I want to hear that again. It's gearhead. It said gearhead.
Bee's knees. You didn't have to be a gearhead to know these things.
Go ahead.
Things were freaking cool. The Ford Special Vehicle Team, also known as SVT, was conceived in 1991. Their mission?
Hey, Brendan's reading Wikipedia. He's finally doing some pre-recorded voiceover type shit, right? He's learned some lessons from episode 1. This is again, but I don't know if this was made for him or he got it commissioned, but he's doing something. This is an improvement. It's not much, but it's a big improvement.
Create vehicles that stop as well as they accelerate, ride as well as they handle, and most importantly, went fast, really fast. It's also important to mention that if the SVT team didn't develop the Ford Lightning, you wouldn't have your beloved Ford Raptor. They debuted the Mustang Cobra and the first generation Ford Lightning in 1993. At a Chicago auto show, it blew people away. The first generation Lightning had 240 horsepower, went 0 to 60 in just 7 seconds. I know what you're thinking. 7 seconds? That ain't fast. You gotta remember, kids, this is the early 90s. Also, you could only get it in 2 colors, red or black.
Allah, he only uses black people for promotion. He doesn't like hanging out with blacks, but he uses them for fucking promotion on videos.
I know what you're thinking. 7 seconds? That ain't fast. You gotta remember, kids, this is the early 90s. Also, you could only get it in 2 colors, red or black. Pretty badass. They launched the second generation Lightning in 1999. It went 0 to...
Yeah, Uche knows, isn't it? Uche knows. Uche knows. Uche knows. Uche knows what time I'm on right now.
60 in 5.8 seconds. Still thinking that's not fast? This was the fastest production truck ever made. So watch your mouth. To take it to another level, the Ford Lightning was showcased in the blockbuster hit Fast and Furious. Ever heard of it? Rest in peace, Paul Walker. By today's standards, it's not the fastest truck on the road by any means. But with some simple mods, these bad boys can move. And that's what I'm gonna do.
Oh my god. The dye is back. That dye job was so funny. Such a funny dye job. It grows in dark. It grows in dark. Oh, he's a fucking legend, man. The things he lies, honestly, he reminds me so much of that friend. Big up John, wherever you are, John. You're a fucking psycho, man. Make us fucking believe you're fucking a girl and you're fucking humping a pillow. You're an absolute psycho. Wherever you are, I appreciate you. But he reminds me so much of my old neighbor, John. What? Big up Austin Casey.
Wait, only red and black? How is his silver if it's stock?
Oh, I didn't realize that actually, Austin Casey. Amazing observation. Yeah, I didn't realize that. It's all stock. Remember, it's all stock apart from the pulley, apart from the induction, apart from the engine. It's all stock. It's all stock. Apart from the interior, the upholstery, it's all stock, right? There's the whole inside's been changed. There's a new engine. There's a new heat pump, but it's all stock.
What's up, fam? Your boy is...
Yeah, exactly. Stock aftermarket. Stock aftermarket. Big up Tedru. Big up Tedru. I was thinking stock aftermarket.
Is out here in Phoenix, Arizona. I flew out here this morning because I found the gem of all cars. The 16-year-old in me is freaking out right now.
I love how he's trying to pretend he's enthusiastic about this shit when he's just discovered this hobby a couple of months ago. It's quite psychotic, to be fair. This is a form of mental illness. He's just discovered this hobby a couple of days ago and he's acting as if he's been like, I'm willing to bet. I'm going to go out on a ledge here. I think Brendan just invented this law around Ford Lightning into his life. He just invented it. He probably rewatched Fast and Furious one time recently, maybe with his kids. He saw Paul Walker driving that pickup truck. He's like, oh, that looks cool. He Googled it and found out about it. But I'm going to say he found out about Ford Lightning within the last 6 months. I don't think he knew that car existed before. He didn't remember it. But he watched the movie and he was like, oh, yeah, I remember that. And then he started, then he did what he does. When you're a pathological liar, he did that thing where he invented, like, yeah, I always used to be like, you know, it's like guys that lie about being a professional footballer. Yeah, I could have been a footballer, but, you know, it's my knees, man. My knees. You know, my knees. Yeah, I had trials for Man United, you know. I played for fucking Real Madrid, you know, but the language barrier. I could have stayed there, but, you know, the language barrier.
If you had this car when I was in high school, you were basically Leonardo DiCaprio or you're Paul Walker. I flew all the way out to Phoenix, Arizona to pick up a cherry of a Generation 2 2004 Ford Lightning. Check this bad boy out. Not a mark on it. Generation.
So it wasn't enough that we got all that other pre-roll, all that other fucking, what's that? That fucking B-roll shit. We also got it more in this clip. Great. More B-roll. Let's just add all the B-roll in here.
Ford Lightning.
I'd love there to be, I'd love if someone could count how much screen time there is of actually Brendan talking about cars. Someone should calculate that. How much screen time, how much time is he on camera talking about cars? It's a 12-minute video. How much of this 12-minute video is he actually speaking to camera about cars, about being a gearhead, about mods and all that shit? I bet you it's under 5 minutes.
Check this bad boy out. Not a mark on it. Generation 2 2004. The tonneau cover. He did the delete in the back. Filthy, filthy. Not crazy about the Euro lights, whatever. Tires are good. That's sick. They see all stock. Billy Grill. You put an aftermarket intake on it. The Poli Diablo Sport.
All stock. Aftermarket intake. He's a psychopath. He's a fucking psychopath. I swear to God.
Poli for extra horsepower. But we got plans for this. So I don't care about any of that. I care about the low mileage.
Oh, you got
There's no wear and
plans?
tear on the ride. Yeah, so this comes with 380 horsepower, 450 pounds of torque. And the interior is what drives me absolutely bonkers. Check it out. So these are from Ford. And you can take those off. And this interior has never touched a human's booty. Some carbon fiber on it. But other than that, stock. So now I got...
What? Carbon fiber, but other than that, it's stock.
I drive back to LA. And this bad boy. It's taking me about 5-6 hours and change. Got my co-pilot here. Say what up, T.
What's up, my peeps?
My peeps. Okay, dude. All right, see you guys on the other side.
He actually did take... So his kid's holding the camera. That's how he pays for private school. Hold the camera. Look at the mustache. Oh, it's giving Heil Siegel, and it's giving it's giving Volkswagen, isn't it? That mustache is giving fucking Volkswagen. I'm trying pickup, like what? He's an all black as well, bro. He looks, you know, that uniform he's got on now is giving. Sorry, that outfit is giving this. That outfit is giving this. That outfit is giving this. If you know, you know. That outfit is giving this.
LA bound. LA bound in this Generation 2 2004 Lightning.
God bless that kid, innit? That kid has to fucking take pictures of his mum twerking. And he has to record these redacted videos of his dad driving a car that he got bumped on. It's like, you got to pay for your toys and your fucking private school somewhere, innit? God almighty.
Take us about 6 hours to get to LA. See you on the other side. Now, things went south on the investment of that Ford Lightning. So...
Oh. What kind of cut is this? Oh... This is him trying to lean into the fucking meme. Embrace the fucking L. It was so, and it's not even a good L to embrace because it's so easily avoidable. Who goes to buy a car without test driving it or without going there or no, or doing this? If you're going to test drive it but you don't know what you're looking for, if you're buying a Ford Lightning or if you're buying a car that's that old, surely you'd go on YouTube, you type that car in, car review, you'd see what other people said about the car, and you might even stumble across somebody who bought one recently. And they might tell you in that video, hey, here's what to look for. Cars from this year have these issues. They have these problems. You might want to keep in mind this. If you're buying it, whatever, secondhand, make sure you ask the owner this, and that. Look for this, and that. Surely that isn't too hard to do. And again, me no car guy, me ride bicycle to worky, you know? Me riding bicycle like a good immigrant. But surely, if I know that was the first thing I would do if I was buying a fucking if I was buying a 2010 fucking BMW X5, the first thing I'd do is fucking go on fucking the internet and say BMW X5 2010, whatever fucking liter it was, if it was diesel or fucking petrol, whatever, right? Automatic or manual, whatever the specs were. And then I'd find out what people said about that car. I'd find out the issues were. Maybe the tires, whatever, do something. Maybe the axle has some sort of kink in it. Maybe the steering after a while maybe the power steering is a bit iffy. After a certain amount of miles, maybe the gearbox needs whatever the issue is, you just Google it. So you just find out what to look for to keep an eye on. And also as a man, there's a bit of pride. You don't want to go to somebody and get scammed. And you kind of want to act like you know what you're talking about. So you want to go there armed with some bit of knowledge, with some things that you read online or you listen to. As a man, you'd want to do that. This guy was calling up inspectors and it's a life full of maids, isn't it? Butlers and maids, inspectors and shit, always helping assistance from adults, humans that you can't just do yourself with a little Google. It's fucking bizarre.
No. Oh no. The one I was in?
Yes. So when you buy a car online, it doesn't tell you all the problems. And then you get on the...
Also, this fucking politician thumb thing he's doing is infuriating. Because it looks like he's trying to do a bit. And I've got a feeling, I've got a gut feeling that this whole Ford Lightning saga is going to end up as a bit. I've got a feeling. Either he's going to put a video out or in his new special, you're going to hear something about cars. I've got a feeling because he's doing this whole not pointing thumb thing, right, to the camera, right? And it feels like he's doing it because he's trying to memorize, fucking, little beats on a bit he's trying to put together. Oh, so lame. Huh. Buying cars from 2004 in 2024. Am I right? I'm the kind of guy who watches a movie and then I'm like, you know what I need? A new car. Big up, Scott. Appreciate you.
Mustache is all stock, no paint, just like the truck.
That's hilarious. Mustache is... That's hilarious. That's funny. That was good. Mustache is all stock, no paint. Aftermarket mustache. That's what they should call people that get hair transplants, isn't it? If you get a hair transplant, that's what you should be called. You should be called an aftermarket hair transplant. Or like when you get new teeth, aftermarket teeth. Aftermarket veneers. Oh, mate. But big up on Scott. Appreciate it, brother. Thank you for the super chat. Oh, sorry. My bad. Let's go back to it. Let's bear with me a second as I get it back on the screen here. I'm a redact. Where are you? There you are.
On the highway and you floor it and it goes,
nah,
good. And then it just doesn't work like it's supposed to. And then you dyno it in front of the most manly mechanics, these guys, they have their Raptor R's, they got these 1,000, horsepower diesel, and they're guys. I'm like, let's get this Lightning up there. Compared to their trucks, I'm the bottom here.
Yeah.
And so they dyno theirs, one's 700 horsepower at the wheels, another's 600, the other's 540. I'm like, oh, this is cool. Get my truck up there. And they're like, okay. They don't let me put it on there because I look gay and I have skinny jeans on. So they drove my truck up there, hurt my feelings.
Oh, boy.
So they get the truck on the thing. You know what dynoed at the first time it went? Again, these numbers, 500, 600, 700.
Oh, no.
125. Oh, there's something wrong with your dyno. And the guy goes, nope, it's your transmission. And I go, what do you mean? I just bought it. He goes, yeah, but it's 20 years old, bud. It's your transmission.
Being happy to announce that, not knowing, I don't know.
He goes, floor it again. It's just not, there's something wrong with the transmission.
Oh, no.
It's in the shop.
It is 8 a.m. We're headed to Diction Motorsport because I got right here from LMR the parts. I got the spark plugs, the fuel pump, the to Eddie at Addiction Motorsports. That's all we need to get this.
Hold on, what did he say? Spark plugs.
It is 8 a.m. We're headed to Addiction Motorsport.
Also, what happened to the drive home? He drove the car home. You didn't see him dropping it off at his house. You didn't see him driving into his garage. You didn't see any nighttime footage of him talking about the drive home. He just went from the studio clip, pre-recorded, and then it went to another clip of him driving it to a garage. I love how the storyboarding, arcing, whatever of this shit is all over the place, right? Made up the start of where he's going to buy it, goes to buy it with, and it's actually got footage of him buying it, but then there's no footage of him driving it back home, parking it, or driving into his garage, or even doing some late night video of him standing in front of the car like fucking Ty Lopez talking about it. No, none of that. Let's just, next morning, to the garage again, chip and pin machine. Let's go, fix my car.
Shop.
It is 8 a.m. We're headed to Addiction Motorsport because I got right here from LMR the parts. I got the spark plugs, the fuel pump.
What's the point of buying a car this old or doing this type of show? Not the car, forget the car. Because I feel like if it was me, I would actually like to buy like an early 2000s Ford Focus ST, right? It's one of those, it's a really hood car, ratchet car. If you know, you know, right? Hatchback, orange, crazy fucking body, like whatever, right? I'd love to buy one of those. But I'd love to get it, just like buy it for a couple of grand or however much it is, and then just get all the parts just upgraded, right? Bring it up to scratch for nowadays. But if you're gonna do this type of show, surely part of the fun will be fucking it up. If you have to change spark plugs and a water pump or whatever it is, I would suggest, if it was me, I'd rather just do it on my own. I would imagine to change spark plugs isn't too difficult. I'm sure there's people online who tell you how to, there's YouTube people who would show you, and just turn it into a bit of a weekend project. Because why not? It's a 2004 car anyway. It's not as if like it's going to be a daily driver. Just do it as part of the project, and it'll be a fun thing for the show. Even if you fuck it up, it's a bit of fun because you're learning on the go and you're learning as the show is being filmed. Why bother taking it to a fucking garage to change spark plugs? That's quite embarrassing.
Filter. According to Eddie at Addiction Motorsports, that's
Also, he might have doxed his address with that as well, but hey.
all we need to get this bad boy up and running so it doesn't run like a freaking Prius. So we're finally headed to Addiction Motorsports to get this bad boy just running. And hopefully it's all good, and then we can start the Tune Fest. So I can't floor it. I gotta gradually go up like a freaking... You can't floor it. It's a bummer. You buy a freaking Ford Lightning and you want to rip the streets. So you get on the highway.
So hold on. How did you not know any of these things when you bought the car? You can't floor it. Why weren't you aware of this when you bought the car? When you were driving it around, test driving it, why couldn't you just... Surely that's what you do when you buy a car. You floor it, you brake really hard, you maybe do a 3-point turn, you may do whatever that 360 turn, whatever that's called. You might fucking go hard on some corners. You might fiddle around with the fucking transmission. Again, I'm not a car guy. I'm just thinking off the top of my head. That's what you'll do, right? You might actually play around with with the windows if they're electric. Do they go? Oh, they go down. They go up. Window wipers. Test if the water fucking spray shit works. Air conditioner. Try that if that works. Isn't that easy to? I don't know. Look at the timer on the fucking dashboard. Can you set the time on it? How did you not know this stuff when you... And even the way he's driving, he's even driving like a fucking redact, you know? He's even got that little redact hunch. Look. Hey, mommy, look. Come on, Brendan. You have too much money to do this type of shit, man.
It's a gradual
It even sounds, again, I'm nobody. I'm nobody. I know I'm nobody, and I don't know shit what I'm talking about. I literally have a pedal bike. But is it me, or does it sound weird? The engine. Doesn't it sound weird? Or is it because he's not really revving it up too much? Or not flooring it, quote unquote? It sounds odd. It sounds like it's running bad. And again, maybe it's just me.
And there's no boost. That's the other thing. This thing has a Eaton supercharger on it. It doesn't work.
This guy is the perfect victim for a scam. Perfect victim for a scam. Him and Bryan Callen. Bryan Callen got scammed for 15 grand for somebody doing a right-click view page source on the fucking TFATK Reddit. Brendan Shaw got scammed by somebody in fucking Arizona. All he did, he had to just jet wash the car, paint the fucking tires black, upholstery, do the upholstery and clean all that shit up, give it a bit of a shine on the outside, and Brendan just got sold. A guy in Arizona just scammed him because the car looked shiny. Guys are fucking insane. He didn't mention how much he paid for it either, by the way. He didn't mention how much he paid for it.
Engine light, that's cool.
He needs to stop that face. He needs to stop this. This soy boy face is horrendous. Especially, you should only have this sort of like joy on your face because the parts came in that you ordered from Belgium. You had to order a particular spark plug from Japan. You went to order the actual brand, Ford brand decals, and they took 4 months to get here. That's how you should smile. Because you know you're going to do it yourself. You're like, oh my God, I've been waiting for this fucking stuff from eBay for ages. I want to replace the fucking seat belts. You got the fucking right ones you want to replace. And you're happy because you're going to go and try and... Because again, as a dude, I love to fucking just fix shit. Or I'm just... Maybe because I'm handsy. No Crystalia. No Bryan Callen. But I'm just handsy in terms of like, I like to fiddle with shit. So when I buy stuff, you want to like change the fucking... I don't know, the seat post on your bike. The fucking... I don't know, the chain, the pedals, the fucking stem, the handlebars, the grips. Same with cars, I'm assuming. Part of the joy of being a car guy is that you buy this stuff online and you want to figure it out yourself. And if you can't figure it out, okay, then you go to a garage. But you're going to give it a try. Hey, let me try and figure out how I can fix the wing mirror. How I can replace this. How I can replace the rear lights, the headlights. And this guy's smiling at us because he's going to take it to a shop. And he's going to run his car through the chip and pin machine. Hey, chocolate drop. Don't laugh at my grips, bro. Don't laugh at my grips. When I'm down that fucking street and my ass, when I stand up from my seat, and I let my legs go, and I'm shifting from side to side on my bike, and my bum is just swaying in the fucking wind, and that sway is giving me a little bit of momentum, I go, bro. On my bike, I fucking go. I am going. I'm moving. All you hear is... That's all you hear. Hold on. Let me watch this. What are they doing? Of course, it's a fucking Hispanic. Of course, it's a brown person that's gonna go fix his car. Of course. The real handyman, the real men of the men out there. Of course, he's the one gonna be working on the car while smoking a cigarette and listening to fucking music on one ear. One more time. cool. So his car had to get lifted. So maybe he couldn't do all this stuff by himself. They had to lift his car. But so far, I'm not seeing anything that he couldn't have done with a little bit of elbow grease. Or am I bugging out? I don't think there's anything he could have done here that he couldn't have done by himself. I know they lifted the car a bit, but so far it's not looking that crazy. Before. So I guess, is that the pump? After. Come on, Brendan, man. Come on, Brendan, man. You could have did this. Come on. Come on. Wow.
Something is unplugged. Again?
Of course, the real men, the real fucking men, right? The real chicos, the real hermanos. Look at them working, elbow grease.
No, it's like it's not wanting to start after we put the fuel pump in there, but the ECU was adding 25% fuel in the long terms, so more than likely I'll have to clear the keep alive memory and have all the long term reset back to 0. And then
Brendan's he's not even there. He went to go get lunch. He's not even there.
I'll just check to see why it's misfiring after the install. So, but I'm gonna check fuel pressure, because if fuel pressure is back to 34 where it's supposed to be at instead of 20, obviously it's got more fuel pressure and now it doesn't need all that fuel that the ECU was putting in under the long terms from when it was running out of fuel. So
yeah, he can charge what he wants. When he speaks like that about cars, he can charge what the fuck he wants. When he speaks like that about cars, he can charge what the fuck he wants. When he speaks like that about cars, he can charge what the fuck he wants.
try to keep it alive. If it has no fuel pressure, it ain't gonna run.
Where's Brendan in this? Again, where is he in his whole footage? Where's Brendan? If that's me, and I take it to a garage like this, I'm going to be standing there with my arms crossed like an old man, watching everything they do. So I can maybe learn, hopefully, I can maybe man learn through just watching them.
It blew the fuse as soon as we started it. So since the bigger pumps draw more amperage, it blew the fuse. It has a factory 20 amp fuse. So we put a 30 amp fuse in there, you know, and then it didn't blow it. Because the bigger pumps, since they're 340 liter per hour now instead of the factory 195 or something like that, I believe they are, they draw more amperage. So as soon as we started it, it blew the fuse. You know, and we're like trying to figure out why it won't even start. So, you know, keep it simple. Check with the test light, check the fuel pump fuse, and it was blown. Put a 30 amp in it, it's fine now.
So they replaced the fuse on the fuel pump because it wasn't the correct one. It was too low. And then they replaced the spark plugs. And they charged him money for this shit. Great episode, isn't it?
So, simple. Fuel pressure is good.
For you car enthusiasts, this is a show to add to your watch later list.
So now we'll just put it on the dyno and see what we do.
I'm convinced there's a scam in this dyno shit. I'm sure there's some scam in this. Something tells me that's not necessary with most cars. Again, I don't know nothing about cars, but I've got a feeling there's a scam in this. Like doing all this shit, like plug it into stuff, having the wheels spit. Like, this feels scammy. You know? Somebody just throws that big, like, there's something that can be exploited from this.
Yeah, 376 and 450 torque, 10.5 pounds of it.
Was that him sitting down? Again, sitting down driving on the way there, sitting down in the garage while all the real men work on his phone, texting baddies, asking George for addies. Love it.
Yeah, 376 and 450 torque, 10.5 pounds of it.
And that's kind of what it should be at, right?
Is this guy? Yeah, don't trust anything, Robert. Don't trust anything. You can't trust it.
Yeah. It's, if it made like 14 pounds with another pulley, it would probably make right around 400 wheel. So this only has the upper pulley, 10.5 pounds. So 370. I mean, these things make 380 to the crank stop.
Look at his face. He hasn't got a fucking clue what's going on. Look at his face. He hasn't got a fucking clue.
Yeah.
They make like 320 to 330 wheel stock. You know? So
that dead eye look. Yep.
So cold air kit and pulley, it's up 40, 50. You know?
Me no English. Hey, hey, senor. Did I tell you my wife is actually Mexican? You probably tried to get a Mexican discount, isn't it? Hey, senor. Hey, hombre. Yeah, she's actually from Guadalajara, actually.
It's been interesting to drive it now. It's been so brutal.
He's tired. He's tired from having to sit down and wait for the real men to actually work on his car. He's exhausted. His arms are aching. He's covered in oil. Brendan's a fucking legend.
I'm so excited.
Ah! It works, baby! And he fixed it. Now it's off to the races. See you on the other side.
That's not his, is it? That's not even his. That's not even his car. So they filmed the whole thing and then got this B-roll footage of what? Another car doing burnouts and donouts. No bye, no see you next episode, just that. That might be one of the worst bits of content I've ever watched. That might be one of the worst bits of content I've ever watched. Oh my fucking God. What was that? What did we get from that? Yeah, Uche is right. The editing was way better. It did flow better, but it still didn't make any sense. Like, he started off with this fake sketch.
Ford Lightning with no mods.
Of them buying a car, right? The fake sketch. Calling the guy, allegedly. They spent around 3 minutes doing this whole fake call thing. Then we get the throwback, you know, little history lesson on what the fucking Ford Lightning is. Then it skips to him going to pick the footage already. Clips we already see on Instagram. We already saw this on Instagram, by the way. We saw this shit on Instagram. We saw him on Instagram doing this.
Then check this bad boy out. Not a mark on it. Generation 2, 2000.
He did all this shit on Instagram. All that stuff was already on Instagram. And then we have footage from TFATK, which we already have seen. And then we have a video of him with his kid driving to the place to go get the car. No, driving back, I guess, allegedly. No, we don't see him driving back. It just skips to them driving the car to the garage. allegedly, and then he drives it home. I just don't get why this isn't just like a, hey, watch me learn about cars in real time show. That would work way better. I've always loved cars, but I'm usually into buying the higher end cars. It pans over to your fleet of amazing cars, the Ferrari, the Porsche, whatever other car you got. I'm normally on this type of level, but I want to get, I want to get into older cars. I watched Fast and Furious over the weekend with my kid. He fucking loves the movie now. So I'm going to, start learning about cars, modding them, tuning them up, whatever it may be. This is my journey. Like, you're kind of learning in real time. So you actually have video footage of him maybe trying to change the fucking rear lights, the headlights. That would be quite cool. Like, hey, I'm trying to learn. That might actually work. Not cool, that might work. But this show is like all over the place. So it's him doing mods on his own car. Wow. So it's him trying to do mods on his cars and then filming them while he takes them to garages to do the mods for him. But there's no like learning on his part. It's just him going to a garage, leaving the car there, sitting on his phone, and then you're seeing the guys do the whatever they're doing. Luckily on this clip, we saw the guy talking to the camera, but usually they're not really talking to the camera, so you don't really know what's going on. And then we get a little clip of him in a car driving it, but he's not really doing much. He's just driving with straight lines. He's not even trying to do donuts. He's not taking it to a track. He's not taking them off-road. He's not filming any footage of that. He's not filming them, hey, this is what I'll do if he's not doing any like camping footage of it, right? Taking it to a festival, taking it to a comedy. Why don't you take it to a comedy club? Hey, the life of a comedian. So weird. So weird. That was such a mediocre epic video for a guy getting fuel pump and a spark plug change. Exactly, Austin Casey. Next episode, Baba takes lightning to an oil change. Toontown. This episode, he goes onto a gas station to top off the air and the tires. What an incredible waste of time. Wow. Wow. Okay, cool. I feel like I wasted hours of my life watching that shit. That was absolutely horrendous. That was absolutely fucking horrendous. I'm not going to lie. Absolutely fucking shocking. I have no words, really. I have no words. I have no words. I have no words. I have no words. We just learn he's more redacted day by day. Exactly, Tom. Next episode, Baba struggles to complete his seatbelt, but perseveres and does it in the end. Will spins off. I got it. It's working. Seatbelt. That fucking soy boy face is fucking awful, bro. He needs to stop that. Yeah. I saw the FN. I saw that stuff. I'm gonna actually cover that tomorrow. Actually, I need to jet right now. I think I did too much to the gym. My fucking body's aching. Yeah. So that was a waste of time, and I'm absolutely knackered right now. So I'm going to end it here for now, my friends. But I will see you guys again in the morning or wherever the evening, or you guys, wherever you guys are at. So we'll do another bit of the episode and we'll catch up on all the Schultz stuff as well. We'll talk about the Schultz stuff, Adam 22 shit, and all the other shit I got to cover as well. So if you want to check that out, check me back out tomorrow. But yeah, man, that was brutal. How much do you think he's paying that guy to film with him as well? Brendan's a good person to get to make money from, you know. If you're like a video producer guy, a cameraman, you could make some money off of Brendan. Just doing nothing. You could really make good money off him. like because he loves having a team. He loves like being a boss in that way, right? Having employees and not doing shit. Anyway, thank you for tuning in, my friends. Appreciate all of you. It's been a pleasure, never a chore. Thank you for hanging out. I'll see you guys again in a few hours, probably in the morning, whilst I've rested and shit, because I've had a really, really hard gym session, as you can tell from the enthusiasm in my fucking voice. You know, I need to have a quick wank and then I'm going to bed. But thank you for tuning in with me. Appreciate all of you. If you've enjoyed the show, make sure you smash the like button down below. That'd be greatly appreciated. And then I'll see you guys on the other side. I'll see you guys on the other side. But for now, my friends,